Here at the Outpost, we want to look forward to games, and we want them to be exciting and fun. But it doesn't seem that the marketing department of most game studios, especially Western game studios, feels the same way. Take, for example, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, and Exodus. Both of these properties seem to be doing a masterclass in underwhelming marketing. Paradox Entertainment, the folks behind Bloodlines 2, have been putting out dev diaries, but we have yet to see exciting in-game footage. Oh, they had that extended gameplay late last year, but it showed very little and was truly uninspiring. Now, Archetype Entertainment, those are the folks behind Exodus, they have a slick-looking website. They have a few videos, and nothing about their production value says cheap. But in our opinion, it doesn't say exciting. Let's take a look at what they've put out through June and early July. They gave us a video on Green Worlds. This video features a ship, by the way, that looks suspiciously like the Normandy. In the video, we learn that they look for planets to settle on. In this case, they find one. Unfortunately, it's not as habitable as they had hoped. Thing is, the video introduces us to no one. They're just generic people walking down on a planet with a couple of people getting sick. But thinking, fine, this sets up the short story, let's keep going. This story centers around the Hammercross and a couple of her crew. A young communications tech wants to fire up long-range comms, but the Hammercross's evil commander has decided he likes control and they don't need to find out what any of the other ARC ships are up to. So, short story even shorter, anybody who makes waves, say our young communications tech, he has them shipped to the planet below where the deadly atmosphere ends up killing them. Young tech goes to the surface, meets his mentor, who says, oh, the commander won't let us use comms. And essentially, that's the story. It really is about that exciting. It could have been interesting, but they don't let anything develop. And you certainly get the sense that you're never going to hear about these people again. At best, you're going to find some log entries somewhere when you're wandering the universe. But reading this, there's no resolution. There really isn't even any conflict. The poor kid has no choice, and the story ends with us assuming that he's down on the planet, and with his mentor and a whole bunch of other outcasts, they all just die a horrible death. No consequence to the Hammercross's command crew, and no tie to anything that's happening anywhere else in the universe. We're just left to assume that, well, this was an unfortunate situation, and some of those ARC ships made it, some of them didn't. This just happens to be one that didn't make it. Next, we have the Rise of June. Here we're told yet again that humanity's hanging by a thread, the Celestials are a terrible threat, and young June is ready to become a traveler like his father. His father, Orion Aslan, is a renowned traveler who brought Leiden such tech and gave them such leadership that they were able to withstand the Celestials. Young June, however, was an infant when Orion went on his last trip and never really knew his father. And if my description seemed emotionless and dull, you got the gist of what was written on the website, retreading what we already know. Finally, we have the rise of Orion Aslan. We learn of his first trip. He was so excited but naive. Then he learned of all the dangers and quickly grew to be one of the most famous and prolific travelers ever. He was brave, a great leader, and yes, all that travel estranged him from his family. One of his children, Gideon, we learn, grew more and more distant every time he went off on one of his journeys. And young June is never even mentioned in this article. We do not, of course, learn the fate of Orion. No doubt this is something we will learn in our journey. And as far as setting up things we might read about, see, and in some cases probably interact with, most likely the Orion Aslan portions of the story, we might as well be reading a high school textbook. These three stories have no emotion, no heart. We simply learn about events and are told that things happen. There's just no illustration of anything. We don't see the Celestials creating problems. There are no accounts of the Celestial attacks, no heroic defense of Leiden, no imaginative use and discovery of the technology that Orion brings back. It's all presented in such cold, matter-of-fact prose. Now we know one of the main writers behind Exodus is Drew Karpyshyn. You likely know his name from all of his work in Knights of the Old Republic and especially the Mass Effect 1 game. He's written quite a few novels, and in my opinion, he is not an author who could be considered known for exciting prose and characters. I think they need to step up their game. We don't need hype. We don't need lies. We just need honest-to-goodness characters we can dig our teeth into, stories that grab our attention and not just say, here's a bunch of cool tech, see how hard science we are going. We need that magical substance that draws us into a story. We need something to make us enthused, not just, oh, well, that was interesting. And yes, we need to see gameplay and game mechanics. What are the RPG elements? Here's hoping they step up their game in the following months and give us some exciting reasons to care. What do you think? Leave us a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.